10 years ago, we lived through some of the most intense paranormal activity imaginable. That led us to research haunted locations and capture evidence proving the existence of supernatural beings.
Okay, can you, both cars in front. You're gonna leave tonight.
And help our families being tormented as we
once
were.
those kids alone too.
And what we discovered is that the South Coast is wickedly haunted.
That was incredible. That's what I'm talking about. That's proof. Welcome to Wickedly Haunted. I'm Todd.
And I'm Marissa.
And we got a great show for you tonight. Tonight we're going to begin our series on our investigations into the Bridgewater Triangle that we did this summer. Now, if you're not familiar with the Bridgewater Triangle, it is a 200 square mile area between Norton, Bridgewater, and Rehoboth. I remember. And within that area, a ton of strange paranormal activity takes place. Everything from UFOs to puckwedgie, weird, like dangerous, creepy spirits to Bigfoot. But you know our thing here? It's ghosts. And there's a heck of a lot of hauntings within that area as well. And that's what we dove into this summer. We went to several different locations, some of them even twice. And tonight we're going to start off with one of the most haunted we've ever been to, and that is Anawan Rock in Rehoboth, Massachusetts. This site sits directly on Route 44. As a matter of fact, you're going to hear some cars whipping by, unfortunately, within the video, but not to fret, because the evidence we came away with is so incredible that not even the loudest tractor trailer could ruin what we ended up catching here. Some of the best manifestations, some of the strangest things we have ever encountered anywhere in all the years we have been doing this. And we have some theories on that we'll get into following the first video. But really just an incredible site. And just to give you some quick backstory, it's where King Phillips War ended in 1676. Basically, the last band of the Wampanoag Tribe had sheltered down there at this sacred site they called Anawan Rock, and they were kind of hiding up on the rock area from the colonists. And Benjamin Church, the kind of general of the colonist brigade, chased them into this swampy area, and believe me, it's a swampy area. Okay, big time swampy area, lots of bugs.
Oh, yeah.
And the Native Americans ended up surrendering under the promise that they would not be harmed. Supposedly, once Benjamin Church left, that all changed. They were betrayed, murdered, bodies were cut up and just strewn aside, except for the heads, which were brought back to another site that we're very familiar with in Plymouth Colony, where their heads were put on pikes and left there for years. It's just the kind of grotesque thing they did back then. You remember, completely different time period, completely different circumstances, a lot of brutality on both sides. You know, none of it can really be excused, but really betrayal in the highest order. So if you want to talk about a recipe for a haunting, that is it. Yeah. Would you not agree?
Oh, absolutely.
And it showed all over the place. One of the biggest things we came across here was footsteps. We thought people were chomping around in the woods all around us.
Oh, so bizarre.
If not for our flare thermal camera, honestly, I would have thought there was people around us. We didn't see any animals there. We didn't see people chomping around in the woods in the random swamp area, and the flare footage was there to make sure of it, but it sure sounded like it. And it wasn't tree branches falling off of trees either.
Yeah, no, there were footsteps. You could hear footsteps, the twigs cracking, leaves. Like it was just, there were footsteps, no doubt about it.
Chris and I both grew up in the woods, in the boondocks, Lakeville and Mattapoisett. I know what footsteps in the woods sound like. It was footsteps.
Yeah. I mean, it sounded like people were creeping up on us from every direction too. Like,
it was awesome. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was cool.
It was awesome. So before we get into the first video, as always, we just want to put it out there. If anybody is experiencing strange phenomena, if any sort of weird things are going on in your house and you would like our research group, Marissa and I basically, and our colleague Brandon to come investigate and help figure out what's going on, we're happy to do so. Easiest way to do that is through our email, relativelyparanormal@gmail.com. Just shoot us a line. We'll give you a quick call back and you can let us know what's going on. We're not going to judge anything you say. We're just going to come out and help you figure out what's going on. If necessary, we can cleanse the house, which does remove most negative entities. But overall, if you're curious as to know what's going on, who's there, why they're there, we can help you out with that. You can also check out our website, relativelyparanormal.com. Has links to our YouTube channel, which has 59 videos now of different full investigations, quick evidence clips, every episode of Wickedly Haunted, which are also on our playlist on New Bedford Guide. And 59 videos, yeah, a lot of videos.
All been produced by Todd. That's amazing.
Thank you. The website also has a great photo album with all sorts of crazy pictures we've captured at different locations. Really good stuff on there. And of course, we have our Facebook page, Relatively Paranormal. It is a public Facebook group. Anyone's welcome to join and interact with us and see different cool things we put up. And we now have a TikTok channel as well. Again, Relatively Paranormal. We like to keep it simple here.
Yeah.
It's all Relatively Paranormal.
Dancing, you know.
Yeah, no, it's not Todd dancing. No.
I think we could dance. Oh, he
So-
also goes dancing for sure.
Now that that's out of the way, Marissa mentioned to me the other day, listen, you're not putting us out. If you need help, you need help. The reason we offer help is because we live in a haunted house and we have lived in another haunted house that was far, far worse than this one, where I was held down, all sorts of weird things happened. We didn't know where to go for help. That's why we do this now. We went and got our own help, which was researching this, investigating this, and we're just trying to pay it forward. Well, not really pay it forward because nobody paid it forward for us, but we're just offering help. We're just trying to be nice. That's it. Don't worry about it. You're not putting us out. We don't mind doing it.
And we enjoyed it.
And if you don't want your stuff put out there, we keep everything anonymous. If you're on the show, not a big deal. But let's roll the first video clip so you can get an idea what we were talking about. It's in the middle of the swamp, Anawan Rock, Native Americans, awesome spirits. They were fantastic. Let's check it out.
In Rehoboth, but it is awesome. This was the site of the end of King Phillips War, a horrific war, actually the bloodiest in American history per capita, which ended in 1676, right here with the capture of General Anawan's soldiers, who were lied to, told that they would be not harmed, yet they were massacred, and unfortunately, as horrific as it sounds, had their heads put on pikes at a place we're familiar with, Burial Hill Cemetery in Plymouth, Massachusetts, where back in the day, Plymouth Colony, that's the type of disgusting and horrific things they did. But both sides did savage things. We're about to come in here and investigate because this site is supposedly what? Wickedly haunted.
As always, when we arrived at Anawan Rock, we lit up our power plant energy devices, and the activity wasted no time at all in popping off. It was happening all around us. We didn't realize it because we weren't looking through the cameras, but it was there nonetheless. We did hear walking around in the woods around us all night. We honestly thought there was people in there. If not for our FLIR thermal camera, seeing into the woods and seeing no animals and no people, I honestly wouldn't have believed that there weren't real live human beings in there instead of the dead ones that were stomping around there all night long. This side-by-side camera shot is of the same scene. You're going to see next to the static camera on the right-hand side, which is our 3D mapping camera, a weird-looking snakehead pop out. Notice on the left-hand side, there is nothing near the static camera at all.
Okay, I'm going to put it right down right here so it won't hurt you. There's plenty of energy over here. And turn that light on and let us know that you're here. Thank you. Thank you. We have a light on. All right. Can you turn it off so I can ask you questions now? I just grabbed the wrong thing. Can you shut it back off by twisting it the opposite way now? Please? And then we can ask you questions. Thank you. If you are a male, if you're a man, can you please turn the light back on if you are a man? Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Can you shut it back off so I can ask you another question? Are you Wampanoag? If you're Wampanoag, turn the light back on.
I do side
You're
by
from the
sides.
Wampanoag Tribe. Thank you. Okay.
The snakehead, the birds, all
Can you turn the light back off, please, and I'll ask you another question. Thank you.
Winner, winner, live arcade. 100 real games, oh yay. Win real prizes when you play. Ship to your door any day at Winner, winner, live arcade.
Did you die during the King Phillips War? Was King Philip your chief? Thank you. At the end of the war? Yes. Okay. Go ahead, you can shut the light off. Can you please shut the light off so I can ask you another question? Thank you. Did they lie to you and tell you that they wouldn't hurt you if you surrendered? Turn on the light if the colonists lied to you.
Watch this incredible orb fly directly into our vortex spirit box.
Yeah, an orb just went right into the box.
Do you still harbor a lot of resentment that the colonists did that to you? Are you still mad?
Less.
Yes, I don't blame you. What does it
I
say?
think it said less.
Yeah.
Less mad.
Less. Okay. Go ahead, turn the light off. And I'll ask you another question. This is good, we're communicating like this. Are there other spirits here with you? Turn the light on if there are other spirits here with you. There are. Dude, I can hear walking behind me over here.
No, that's what I was trying to
To
tell
the
you to
left
shh.
over here too.
You wouldn't. You told me.
Shushing, what do you mean?
I asked you to shh so I could hear.
Okay. All right, can you turn off the light and I'll ask you another question?
Whoa, what was that thing? That just clung on to that.
All right. I'm going to count when I get to the number of spirits that are here.
Fine.
That's okay. When I get to the number, when I count, you can turn the flashlight on. Can you shut it off and I'll count? When I get to the number of spirits that are here with you, then you can turn the light on to let us know how many are here, okay? Go ahead, turn the light off. All right. This is how many spirits are here with you. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4,
Error.
5.
Error.
5? If there are 5 other spirits here with you, turn off the light. Are there 5 here with you? Is that correct? Yes.
Our 3D mapping camera continues to pick up more strange anomalies flying around in the air where we're investigating, especially near the vortex.
Can you show yourself in front of that light over there so we can see you? It's very buggy right now, very buggy. And I was wondering if any bugs were going to be out yet. Crazy, right?
Yeah, they are.
All right. Are all the other spirits down here with you right now? Are they all down here? Are they walking around us? They are. I figured. Crazy, right? I can hear walking.
I can feel them.
We come in peace. We only come here to give you a voice.
There was no tree right there. Oh my god, the paralysis just answered me and said cold.
Were you alive
Oh,
when the
cold.
colonists first arrived here? Turn on the light if you remember when they first got here. What the hell was that? I'm pretty sure I just saw something in my face. Yes? Okay.
Jeez, Horace, no. Can you turn the light off so I can ask you another question, please?
You can see here where the arrow's pointing, it almost looks like a man is stepping out from behind the tree. Watch as I move the camera, it looks like he steps out and disappears.
Go ahead, turn the light off and I'll ask you another question. There should be plenty of energy over there from the power plant. Someone keeps passing in front of us. Alright. Did you think that the colonists were friends at first? Turn on the light if you thought they were friendly at first. You did. Okay. You're doing great. Can you turn the light back off again? Go ahead, turn it back off. And I'll ask you another question.
Level.
Did you think it was odd that they wanted to buy your land? That somebody thought they could pay for land since nobody should own it? Yes? Okay. Thank you.
Saying stop.
If that's been there the whole
Fine, I'll
time
stop.
doing that, then it's nothing. It's just like, like a cold spot of some sort. Whoa. 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 This thing just froze. This thing just froze. And then it like like something flashed on it. I've never even seen that before.
Did you just hear that?
Yes.
Right next to us?
Mm-hmm.
The crunch, yes.
After hearing what sounded like footsteps in the woods, as you can see it looks like a purple figure is standing mere feet away. I didn't notice it at the time, but purple means cold on the flare camera, and cold usually means apparition. Watch as I pan left, and then when I pan back to where the apparition was, it is completely gone.
Did the colonists attack you first? Turn on the light if they attacked you first and broke the peace. They did.
Several more strange anomalies show up on our 3D mapping camera. In order for an object to show up on this camera, it has to have mass to it as it works on a sonar type technology.
The horse is here. Is this rock sacred to the Wampanoag Tribe?
Heavy.
Turn the light on if this is really a sacred rock to you.
They said heavy.
Is this a sacred rock? Before we get into the analysis of that video, we just want to mention that if anybody wants to comment, has any questions or anything like that, throw it into the comment box now, and we will get to it after our analysis of each video. Once we know that it's up there, and we're happy to answer any questions or respond to anybody who wants to put something up. Please get involved in the show. We want it to be a live show so that you can be involved. And if you're curious about the paranormal or you're not sure about something, feel free to ask. There's no such thing as a stupid question. And believe me, I don't profess to have all the answers, nor does Marissa. But we've done quite a bit of research and have experienced quite a bit. But we can normally at least give you an educated guess, if nothing else. So the video. So you got to see what we were talking about with the constant noises around us. And once you saw me whip around my flashlight, Marissa had the flare. But then I had the flare at the end, and there was a huge crunch behind us. For some reason, it didn't come across on the microphone. But I spin around, and I didn't notice it at the time, but there was a purple figure standing there. It looked like he was standing behind a tree branch because he was cut in half. And when I pan back, he's gone. And another clip you saw would look like a purple head, almost two heads peeking out from behind a tree. Mm-hmm. So when I say purple, what I mean by warm is like the brighter orange or yellow it is, the hotter it is. And then it scales down to like regular orange is pretty hot. So all the trees are pretty hot. They're alive. It's summertime. They've been baking in the sun all day, whatever.
So this is on the flare camera.
Yes.
And humans, we would come in as like that yellowy orange.
Very hot. Yeah.
Very, very warm. So yellow, orange, and then we'll go to like a red, pinkish, and then like a dark purple, like really dark maroon purple, and it's a dark.
Purple's ice cold.
So that's ice cold. So we know when it's like dark blue or dark purple, It's usually a spirit.
It's like 50 degrees or less. It's ice cold. I was actually just watching the clip, and I scrutinized about this last night because there was really it had no shape to it, so there was no way to call it this paranormal. But as you're about to see, we catch a lot of pictures and weird things around the vortex spirit box. We also had a couple power plant energy pumps around there, which if you watched the show before, they're energy pumps that I invented. And basically it infuses the atmosphere and gives spirits something to feed off of because they're starved for energy. So that's why if you ever watch a ghost show, they constantly drain equipment, they drain the people in the shows. It's because they want energy to interact. They want to interact with us, but they don't have that energy. So they're going to take it wherever they can get. So they kill your cameras, they'll kill your recorders, they'll drain people, make them sick when they do that. All that stuff happens. So I invented this pump basically that gives them a constant energy supply. So they take from that all night, and it's a much, much higher frequency of energy than any camera or person. By thousands of milligauss of electromagnetic energy. And we had those around that vortex area as well. And we caught all sorts of strange manifestations. You even saw a couple in that video. And that whole area behind the vortex is purple, including the tree, which every other tree was orange or yellow, real warm. And that whole area behind the vortex is purple. But it had no shape to it, so there's really no way for me to call that.
Now, I would say, like, the activity around the vortex is common. That happens everywhere we go. They surround the vortex.
But they want to talk to.
Of course, they want to speak with us, but yeah, they're all trying to get, like, the energy. I don't know if they can all get it at once or whether they need to take turns.
Well, we'll put out 2 or 3 energy boxes. We try to split them up a little bit, but we usually put one near the vortex to help them communicate as well. So they'll just route around that area because there's always an energy box somewhere around there, and there's always the communication spirit box there as well. And they're going to want to get into that, which is what we're going to see in the next clip. Is I'm going to turn on the vortex spirit box, so you're going to hear spirit voices. The quotations on the screen are what the spirits are saying.
What we think they're saying.
No, I listen to them. Believe me, I don't manipulate the audio.
That's what they're saying.
I don't manipulate the audio, but I rewind it. I play it in slow motion to myself to hear what they're saying. Spirits talk very fast. They talk over each other. They're dead human beings, so we all like to talk over each other. We all like to talk fast. We all like to do these things. They do the same thing in death, except they talk much faster at much higher frequencies, and they try to all get their point in at one time. Oftentimes you hear them talking to each other, which is really crazy. And over each other, and it's crazy. So we probably only hear about 20% of what's being said by the vortex in person, and the other 80% is left to hear during review. And believe me, we hear phenomenal things. We're like, oh my God, why didn't we hear that live? Oh, we could have responded.
We could have ran.
Yeah, we don't run. We don't run. See my shirt right here? It doesn't mean we actually go out and bust ghosts, because we try to help the dead as much as the living, as much as we can. But we ain't afraid of no ghosts either. Remember the song, I Ain't Afraid of No Ghosts? Yeah. We ain't afraid of no ghosts. So we don't run from ghosts. We're not other.
I think it's more of like a little play on words, like Ghostbusters, Ghost Hunter.
No, I just thought it was a cool shirt. I liked the movie as a kid. I like ghosts, and I ain't afraid of no ghosts. No, so we go help people too, just like they did. Only we don't suck them into a canister and bring them to a trash compactor and put them in and press a button and deposit them.
Well, we have once.
Oh, not
only that time.
Not incredibly. Anyway, we have a lot of videos, so let's roll the second video. And remember, put your comments in while you're watching the video, and we will get to them right after the video as soon as we give a quick analysis. So get involved. We want to hear. I'm going to come over here and turn on a box so you can talk. Don't panic. Oh my God, it's freezing over here. All right, I'm going to turn on a box so you can talk. I'm not going to hurt you. And it's going to let you talk in a minute, but you can confirm your answers through the light still, okay? All right, turn on the light if you understand that. Do you understand that you can still use that flashlight to confirm your answers, but we're going to turn on a talking box. Okay, excellent.
Oh, I know what I... Oh.
Remember.
In this slow-mo replay of that apparition flying out of our vortex spirit box, you're now going to see it enlarge. This is one of the best captures we've ever had.
Is there anybody from the Wampanoag Tribe here? Can you talk to us? What did he say?
I am, or maybe it said I did.
Help? Said he's stuck here. Are you stuck here? That's from this. Would you like help to get to the light?
I can see him.
You can see the light? There ain't anything on that box?
No.
I can see him.
Let's try to, let's try to,
We'll put it back to that.
Can you stand in front of the box so I can see you on my camera?
Someone just came over.
Let me see something. Somebody can talk.
Let's watch the replay of that strange mist fly by.
Yeah, unfortunately, some of our ancestors were a little jerky. Keep talking, Marissa. Ask him about the D word. You said a B. No, B. What's the B word?
B-A.
Marissa and I discovered what looked like a head hiding behind a tree over here. It either looks like a Native American with a feather on his head or a demon with two horns. In this picture from earlier in the show, you can see there is no head in that location at all. Here is a close-up. You can see the head is morphing and changing in many different ways. You can see several facial features, including eyes, a nose, sometimes a mouth, and you can definitely see what looks like either horns or a feather on top of his head.
Everybody can talk.
Watch this creepy hand come out of this bush and then quickly pull back in, causing the bush to move as it does.
Do you think what we wear now is weird?
That's what I think of the cars and stuff. All that shit.
Have you seen the vehicles driving by? Or can you hear them? You can hear them? Yeah, we drive cars now. Vehicles.
He said, I think. What?
Yeah, that was almost like a sentence.
Perfect. Alright, you can check that out.
Check it out.
I'm still gonna put it
It was picking up, man.
What's that?
It was picking you up.
What kind of animals did you eat? Fish? Dead fish? Cat? Cat? You just said Marissa.
Did you hear the asshole though?
Do you want us to leave?
Yes!
In the side-by-side shot, watch my image on the right. What was that? It did not occur on the left-hand side.
No? Is there still a demon in the box?
It's funny, I heard late in the box and it just said late.
Oh, I got something. He's on top of the box. Who's on top of the box?
There's a big flash of light above the box, Todd, too.
Was there? Yeah, I can see him. Look, Marissa.
Right next to your head, kind of like.
Look.
Maybe about.
Can you wave? Can you wave like? Who is that? Who's right here? Is that the demon? What's he doing? Hey, demon, what are you
saying?
Yeah, the paralysis has been.
If the paralysis will say it, then he'll say it on there right after.
Can you guys kill the demon?
Fireworks. Fireworks? Is that what you said?
So, what was the name of the colonist that lied to you? What's the name of the colonist that lied? He said what? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to move the flashlight.
Once again, a strange entity manifests near the ground behind the vortex and grows to a huge size right up against the tree, and then disappears just as fast as it appeared. Now, as you can see, there is absolutely nothing in that area behind the vortex, near the tree, or anywhere else over there.
Is there a demon here? What's that? You can help? Demon, what's your name?
Oh, I got him.
You do?
He's up here to the left.
Get out of here.
Oh yeah, that's where the box. That's where one of the boxes.
The Native American, the Indian we spoke to earlier, what's your name? Oh, I got you on this. Was it tracking me earlier?
I'm not sure what to make of the strange anomaly that's about to fly by, but check out the replay after and you decide what you think it is. Whatever has shown up on our SLS camera this time is absolutely enormous. It looks to be about half the size of a tree. Even its feet are huge, its arms are huge. In a second you're going to see when I go up to it that it absolutely dwarfs me. I can only assume that this has to be a demon, because I can't think of what else would be this enormous.
What's the name of this rock? What do they call this rock? They named it after your general. Did you say Anawan Rock?
Yeah, I heard it.
Awesome. Thank you.
I slowed down this anomaly frame by frame to make sure it wasn't a bug. I saw no wing flutter, and nor did I see a bug this entire investigation that went by the screen that fast.
Okay, so that location, as you have seen, was littered with bugs, and I think Russ and I did a pretty good job, evidence-wise, of picking out what was paranormal and what was bugs. We watched things over and over and over again to make sure that we get it right. The last thing we want to show is a bug and show it as paranormal. We know there's some comments. We're just going to touch upon one thing real quick. The first is that our theory of the older a ghost is, the crazier things they can do, was kind of proven in this investigation, because these spirits are from the 1600s. They're over 300 years old of being a spirit, and they did some really crazy things. They showed themselves as animals. You saw the snake, the weird phoenix flying out of the spirit box, which then turns into a pair of legs and walks off the screen. And there's a lot more actually coming forth. I don't know what that thing was that either ripped off of my body, out of my body, or past my body. We just found that today when we were reviewing this for mistakes.
Now, real quick though, I was just giving Todd hell because I'm like, look, these are awesome. Like, if I was watching this, I would want to watch it over and over again in replay. So if you guys have a chance, you need to watch it in replay. You know, I know you'll be able to go back to it later on or something. But some of these things that you think may be bugs, like there's one thing that comes up, looks like a bird or a bat or something, but it disappears in midair. And that was the first thing, like we thought it was a bat or a bird. Something. But it disappears into midair, it's gone.
We can always see wing flutter anyway.
Yes, yeah.
We can always see
So we
wing
looked
flutter.
over all of it, thoroughly, and it's strange, but I do think that these I do think that the Indians are able to show themselves as animals. They're very spiritual people. And
we repeatedly saw things behind that tree, and you're going to see more as the episode goes on. Repeatedly saw things behind the tree. The hand that came out of the bush is one of the coolest things I've ever seen. At first, we didn't know what the hell it was. It actually moves the bush, but we zoomed in enough to see it is a creepy mist-like hand that comes out of the bush and actually moves the bush as it pulls back in.
Another one you need
really
to go back
awesome.
and look at because it was, that was amazing.
It's not easy to do replays. It's just not. I have to pull the whole video, cut that little slice out, put it through slow it down, and then fit it back into that spot by cutting it, splicing it back in. It's time consuming. So I try to do a couple of replays, and I pack a lot of evidence into these videos too. So
I know.
I want to show a lot of different stuff. So
when I'm watching TV, I usually wait, did I just see that? And
I had 3 or 4 pieces of evidence just to show you, and I was trying to BS over the rest. Then great, I'd show you something 12 times, but
but there's a lot
plenty of evidence to show.
But I think that last video is definitely worth watching a couple more times if you have time.
So there are some comments. So before we get to the next video, we can jump into some of those.
No, you're right, Jill. That is no joke.
Yeah, the channel says that the triangle is no joke. No, every place that we ventured into the Bridgewater Triangle was insanely haunted, wickedly haunted. Every single place, which is what we love. So we're not disappointed.
Hi, Donna.
Really cool stuff, and of course the Bridgewater Triangle.
Donna loves the t-shirt.
Thanks.
It's cool, right?
It's actually a blacklight T-shirt. Maybe I'll get the ultraviolet light on the next video and show everybody.
Thanks, Pamela. Yeah, it's interesting stuff. It is.
And
Tommy Lee, hi. Thanks for joining. Thanks for watching.
And the triangle is also, the boundaries of it are very loose. I firmly believe it comes down to this area. I mean, part of it is the King Phillips War. Part of it is what happened with the colonists. But the Native Americans spoke about areas like the Wampanoag Swamp, the Freetown State Forest, as very spiritual and haunted places for millennia. That's probably why they went and hid in those places, thinking that the spirits would protect them or they would have advantages in there beyond the physical realm, I'm sure.
Well, that's where they got their food from too. But isn't that kind of weird?
I mean, the other thing that we encountered at this and another, we went to another location related to Native Americans, and we saw a lot of weird stuff there too, is it may have something to do with their spiritual beliefs overall. They believed in a lot of different things, elementals, different nature spirits, puckwidgies. I mean, I don't know how much of that plays into it, but we saw a lot of weird stuff at this place and a lot of weird stuff at another place we went to that you'll see down the road.
Really weird stuff.
Weird stuff.
We were like, do we even show this? You guys look at us.
No, I want to show it. What do you mean? It's all paranormal. It's just weird.
It's
freaks
very
me out
bizarre.
some of it. Freaks me out some of it.
Strange.
Some of it is like so crazy that it's not. Marissa's not saying that it's not paranormal. She's saying like it's hard for anyone to even comprehend.
Oh yeah.
That what you're looking at is real.
It's so bizarre. Because I couldn't comprehend it. I'm like, what am I looking at? What is this creature that looks like a spider that's upside down? Like the thing with legs with the, you know what I'm talking about?
Oh no, that thing was on the ground. Yeah, that was.
No, that's what I mean. The spider, but it looked like it was an upside down spider with the legs like coming up that way.
If you go to our Facebook page, I put the picture up recently. We went to a place called the Great Swamp Massacre in Rhode Island. A Native American village was massacred by the colonists during the King Phillips War. 1,000 villagers, men, women, children, were all slaughtered there. And they were screaming something about a demon, and we got a picture of this thing crawling around. It looked like it had spider legs, but it had this weird demonic head, and it was grabbing a Native American and like choking him out on the ground. And I think the Native American head was screaming.
Open, like,
it's a really strange picture. It's on our Facebook group page. It's a public page. You can go join the group and look at it. It's one of the strangest pictures I've ever seen. But anyway, still a lot of video to show. So let's get into the third video. And please keep commenting. We love hearing from you. We're happy to answer any questions.
Who was more savage, you or the colonists in the war? Can you turn on the light if they were more savage to you? You lived it? Okay. What did they do to you? Killed me? Did you hear that, Missy? How did they kill you? With a gun. Did you hear that, Brandon? Mm-hmm. With a gun. Did you say gun? Can you turn off the light if they shot you? What did they do to Anawan? Cut him up. Cut him. Did you say cut him?
It says hidden right here.
That is disgusting. They are bastards for doing that.
As horrified as Marissa, Brandon, and I were to hear the details of what unfolded on this site from the mouths of the victims themselves, we were still amazed that after over 300 years that the spirits of those victims still remember every detail of what happened to them and their tribesmen here at Anawan Rock.
Listen, I'm offering you a peace offering of tobacco. This is called a cigarette right here. I'm going to put it next to the light. It has tobacco in it. Okay? Would you like to smoke the tobacco in my hand? I'll hold it for you. Go ahead. Look at the camera. Look through the camera. Back to the one that's that. Can you smoke it right off the end right here? It won't hurt you. It's just tobacco. Go ahead. Take a drag. Go ahead. I'll hold it for you. Take a drag. Take it, it said. Take a drag from my cigarette. Go ahead, I'll hold it. As a sign of friendship. Are you smoking yet?
No. Is that you breathing?
Turn off the light if you can smoke it, if it's possible.
Let's watch the slow motion replay of what looks to be a hand reaching out from the bottom of the tree, followed by something that appears to be a bird, but is completely translucent and looks like it's made of mist. Now in this enlarged version of that replay, you can see real close up exactly how intense and insane this manifestation actually was.
Demon. The demon's a coward and a bully. What can we do to help you?
I got him again, Todd.
You do?
Same height.
Over there?
Look at him.
As with any trapped spirits, it is always heartbreaking to Marissa, Brandon, and I to hear them beg us for help, to help bring them to the light. We don't know how to do that. We're not mediums, so for now, all we can do is give them a voice, tell their story, and show the world that indeed they are real, they do exist, and they are out here needing help. As the rest of this SLS encounter occurred off to the left, off camera, I'm going to show it from the SLS standpoint because what happens here is truly an amazing encounter with an enormous figure on the SLS 3D mapping camera.
To the left, you're not close.
Don't.
Go the other way?
Is it him?
No, the other tree. I don't know. No, you're way off. Lift your arms up. Yep, you're touching its leg.
There's nothing here. There's a tree in the background. Sir, can you shake my hand?
You're touching its leg. It moved its leg.
Do you know who's
freezing
communicating
cold
over there
right
with Todd and Brandon?
It reached its arm.
Is that one of your
Sir, shake my
people?
hand, please.
It's like moving its leg away from you.
Here, would you like to smoke my cigarette? Come down here, move your head down here, and smoke my
It's
cigarette.
lifting its arm up, waving.
Can you smoke my cigarette?
What the fuck?
Tobacco.
It's nothing malevolent.
Hey, one arm's down towards you.
Tobacco. Friendship.
Step closer, one step. Yep. Keep going.
Oh my god, it looks like something's smoking my cigarette.
It's
Is
waving.
it?
It's wicked tall.
Is it?
You're like at its knee, Todd.
Ask him if I'm over here with somebody, Marissa.
I just did.
What
It
they
said
say?
that you're
It
with
keeps
something.
waving its hand and touching
Well,
its
first
head.
it said that you were with one of their people. Then it says you're with something malevolent.
It's wicked tall.
Alright, sir. Well, can you wave at me or shake my hand or something? Peace. You want wampum?
It just put two hands. It's reaching down.
It is. I'm
It just as you walked away, it reached.
Let me ask you this. Do you want wampum? Yes.
Unfortunately, I was about 20 feet away from the spirit box and what it was saying and all the warnings that the Native Americans were trying to give me about the demon that was over here. I was more focused on trying to interact with the demon because I thought it was the spirit of a Wampanoag Native American tribesman. At the time, I had no clue what I was dealing with. I want to thank them for trying to warn me. Unfortunately, I was just too far away to hear it.
Wow. So you can see how much larger that thing was up on the tree. And we were just laughing, even though it's probably not funny. But the Native Americans, they were telling us that it was a demon. But I was so far away from the spirit box where we were using the SLS. We were like 20, 30 feet away. And I was focused on trying to interact with what Brandon was telling me he was seeing. And I was trying to shake this like 20-foot tall demonic entity's hand. And then I walk away as he's trying to like wring my neck and ask me if he wants wampum.
You want wampum?
Dixie and Charlie D'Amelio.
I feel like it's a dream.
We're trying to have some fun and tell a true story of us.
That's how we roll as a family.
Get ready, cause we're coming, ready or not.
So it's probably not funny, but
Oh my god.
when you look back on it, it's funny. Now, before we talk about this investigation anymore, we're going to mention real quick. We're streaming in a haunted house right now. It's the second one Marissa and I have lived in. There's a known spirit here named Angie that is a sweetheart. She passed away here under some horrible circumstances a few years ago. She's documented. There's another thing here that we have met since day one as well that called itself Terry, that we think it's some sort of demon. And last week during the show, we were watching the replay to see how it came out, and we heard the two loudest EVP demonic growls come across the recording that we've ever heard. Now, I just want to mention, no dogs are allowed in this building. No dogs were outside the building. It doesn't even sound like a dog, first of all. And it was ultra, super, mega loud. And EVP is a voice that is not heard at the time by Marissa or I. It is imprinted in the microphone itself. It's only heard by the microphone. It's imprinted on the electronic device, okay? Normally, you wouldn't hear it till the recording. But I just got a text message from someone telling me he heard the growl again tonight, somebody who's part of Relatively Paranormal, Russell. He does our research for us and stuff. He saw last week's video. I sent the video to Mike before tonight's episode because Mike had I showed it to Mike after the last show. So he's going to put this 12-second clip up, and you're going to hear After about 2 seconds, this horrific growl come across the recording. It comes across twice. There's a weird sigh in there too, but the growl's awful. And supposedly just happened again on this show. I haven't heard it for myself, but if you heard a growl, that is not our dog. Dogs are not allowed in the building.
No, we don't have a dog.
That is a nasty entity that does live in this building. And, you know, apparently he wants to be part of the recording. I don't know. But, you know, Mike can play that quick clip, and then we'll talk about, comment about what you think about it or anything else from tonight's episode before we get to the last video.
Awesome that we ended up catching it while we were there because it was loud. You could even hear us. I'm like, what was that? And, you know, Marissa doesn't know, but that happens repeatedly with noises in that hallway, especially.
So there was really loud, really creepy. We had to play it back a couple times when we first heard it a couple weeks ago because we didn't think that what we were hearing is what we were hearing. Like we hear that all the time on during investigations. But,
can we play it one more time?
But not so much there. I don't know. Mike, do you want to play it again for
just one more time?
Quick clip?
Awesome that we ended up catching it while we were there because it was loud. You could even hear us. I'm like, what was that? And, you know, Marissa doesn't know, but that happens repeatedly with noises in that hallway, especially.
So good.
So the second growl is even louder than the first, and it's horrific. Mm-hmm. That is not that is a demon. Rest assured, that's a demon. We've been doing this a long time. That is a demon.
If anybody else heard it tonight, let us know.
It was here when we moved into this building. It played itself off like Mr. Nice Guy, like he died in the intersection outside the house, but he's not. So
well, it may not even be a demon. It may just be an angry spirit. Just pretending to be.
We forgot to pull it out of the video, but like a month before, we heard what we think was Angie's voice on one of the EVPs too, whispering. But anyway, if you want to comment about that real quick, or if you want to comment about any of the other stuff, tell us what you think about the Native American spirits, how they represented themselves in animal form sometimes, how they tried to warn us of this other negative thing there, how they you know, did all these really, really interesting and awesome things. I mean, I'll tell you what, as somebody who does a lot of the production and a lot of the video review, it really broke my heart more than normal to hear them pleading for help, because to think of them being stuck there for 300 something years out in that damn swamp, you know, looking for help. And like, I don't even know, you know, how I could clear them out or
do they even want to leave?
They were screaming for help. I didn't get to tell you. I spent like the last 20 hours, like literally probably 26 of the last 29 hours producing video.
But what I'm saying is like,
and they repeatedly over and over and over. No, they were pleading for help.
Right. What I'm saying is that's their home. Like they made that their home. Where else would they want to be?
They want to go to the light.
Maybe it's that there's something there that's making.
But we know that when spirits transcend, they heal. And they move on to the next phase of their life. And when they're stuck here, they become hopeless, miserable, and they transcend towards that dark light.
Well, what I understand is that the whole tribe is there. Like I could feel
the
whole tribe was there.
What blew me away, though, more than anything, was the fact that they remembered the details of what happened to them that day when they were betrayed. Like that 350 years later, to the T, where we said what happened to Anawan, and they said they cut his neck, they cut his head clean up, like boom. They have to think about it. They knew exactly, like you could tell, like they wanted justice.
And that's how we learned that his head was actually brought to the cemetery that we recently investigated, right? In Plymouth?
No, I read it. Then I heard it on the video, and I was even more shocked.
Right.
You know, we asked who betrayed him. They said Benjamin Church, like no problem. Like, think about it, it's 350 years. I can hardly remember what happened last week. I mean, if somebody cut my head off, I'm sure I'd remember their name, but like still, like it's a long time, 350 years, and they remembered everything.
We did though. They were happy that we did come to visit, although they didn't want us to stay. They let us know that. We did play. Hello, Grandfather. What's it called? Music that we played for them.
We didn't do that till the second time we went.
Oh, okay. Well, we made a second trip there. And we played.
Yeah, what else about that? Because We went back. We played a powwow for them when we went back a
Thank
second
you.
time, but we're not going to get into that because we're going to show that video.
We'll get into
too.
that next
That
time,
video was
but
just we actually go up on top of the rock. What does that say? After the demon got in touch, the person with the cigarette.
Did the person feel any way different? Well, that hi Wanda, thanks so much for asking. That was Todd. So Todd, did you feel any different?
No.
Did you feel tingling? Because I know that sometimes.
No, but remember I said it was cold.
Yeah.
No,
So-
no, it was just cold. No, it didn't bother me. It didn't. I didn't know at the time that it was a demon. I knew Brandon was saying it was huge. I know Marissa came over and said it was huge. Sometimes that's just how spirits portray themselves. I didn't know it was as big as the damn tree, but you know, it's crazy. No, I didn't feel any differently. It looked like he tried to grab me as I walked away. I don't know what he was trying to do. Maybe they were screaming for me to get away.
Yeah, the Indians were like warning you. They were like, you know, that's a demon.
The natives,
do not
yeah.
do it. Do not do it. Like natives, sorry.
I want you to get in trouble.
You know, step away, that's a demon. And they even said, I won't say the name, but they said the name of the demon, you know, that's
Beelzebub. I'm not afraid to say his name.
I
I'm
know,
not afraid of his ass. So, yeah, whatever.
someone just wanted to. But anyhow,
Yeah, they're punks. They're bullies. They're cowards. If you're afraid of them, that's when they latch on. So I don't know. Anyway, I know time's running on. So last video, let's roll it. And please put in any comments. We'll get to them right after the video. And if you have any questions, anything like that, let us know where you're watching tonight. You know, get involved. Let's have some fun. That's what we're all here for, to sit down, talk paranormal, and watch awesome evidence that ghosts exist, because they do. They do. Believe me, they do. They do. Roll it.
Before I go, would you take a picture with me? One of my Wampanoag friends? Would you come in my arm and take a picture with me? Would you stand right here with me as a friend in peace and take a picture with me?
These are the pictures that were captured that night at Anawan Rock. As you can see in this picture, I am all blurred out, and what is over my face, I have absolutely no clue, but it is not my head. In a second, we're going to see a blow up of that picture, and the top part of that head is not my face. You can see underneath of it a little bit of my chin, but that is not my eyes or anything else. In this picture, it has become more apparent. Although the rest of the picture has slightly cleared up, I am still completely blurry, as if something is standing in front of me and blocking the picture from being taken of me so they can take a picture of themselves. If you look at the head here, again, not my face, not my eyes. There are huge ears on that face. I'm not sure what is going on here, but it's really freaky. And in this picture is where things start to get real creeped out. The entire picture has cleared up except for me. Never in this series of pictures do I clear up in the picture frame. If you look right here, you can see where my neck is in the picture by the blue arrow, and that pink arrow is pointing to a half a face that is not my face. Even though it is blurry, you can still tell there is something there that is not me, and super creepy. In this picture, the rest of the frame is pretty clear except for around me, which is like I'm sitting in some sort of mist or white bubble, if you will, and it almost looks like there's an outline of a person over my body, which has become really apparent in this picture. As you can see, it looks like I have these huge feet over me, almost like a cape, long hair. It's a really strange picture. It almost looks as if it's a Native American figure wearing like animal skins that are really loose and large, and moccasins. Here, more of the same. The picture is completely cleared up, again, except for me. Really can't see the head part, but you can get the idea. I've still not cleared up here at all. And as this frame goes, it just gets weirder and weirder. This is perhaps the scariest of all. If you look at the head area where my face is, there is some sort of weird demonic goblin looking thing with a triangle type face there, and big, huge, white-looking eyes. And in the crook of my arm, you can also see a face there. It kind of has a large nose, 2 black eyes. That is the blue arrow. The dotted arrow there is that strange demonic face over my face, blocking me out completely, even though the rest of the background is fairly visible here. This is really bizarre stuff, but it does look like something took a picture with me. And then here's where things just go off the rails completely. If you look at my face, something is covering it that almost looks like it has a beak and black eyes, like it's wearing like one of those old masks that robbers used to wear. If you take a big look, my nose is not that huge. I do not have a beak. I do not have huge black eyes. None of that is me. And again, more of the same here. That whatever is on top of my face is much like taller. You can see part of my face underneath my mouth, but whatever is there with those reddish looking eyes is super creepy. The rest of my body, again, is not cleared up, and you can see it right here especially. Whatever this is has reddish eyes, a really tall, narrow head, and at the bottom around my neck and mouth area, you can still see me. Although it's blurry, you can still see me there. Here, again, the picture is pretty cleared up, but that head with the beak on it is still there. My body is still slightly blurry, but the rest of the frame, you can see the tree, the leaves, the vortex spirit box. It's all right there. This is not a camera trick. Now that those pictures are done, I do not know what to say about this. I do not know what the heck that is that the arrow is pointing at. It looks like toucans. In this picture, if you look where the arrow is pointing by the trees, you can see something there with orange eyes. It is a known fact that demons have orange eyes when they manifest, and if you look at this close-up, you can see a face has kind of come into shape with orange eyes glaring across it. There were no light bugs there or anything like that. And if you look right here, that same head has now moved closer to us at the base of the tree, and the orange eyes are blazing. When you see the close-up of this, you can see a head, you can even see horns on it, an angry looking face with bright orange creepy eyes. This was literally 5 feet from us. It is an unbelievable capture and scary as hell, since they were talking about demons. Now in the final set of pictures, what you're going to see here, and I know this is hard to believe, is a portal. I know there is a light flashing in the picture, but that red and green looking oval there has showed up in many pictures at many different locations, and we've been told by entities that it's a portal, but the arrow's pointing to is a head. Now that that picture is enlarged, you can see the shape of the head, the outline of it, the hair is right next to the portal, as if it's either going into it or coming out of it. What a portal is a doorway between our world and the spirit world, and my power plant energy boxes seem to create them from time to time. This is another location we were at, and the same thing showed up. Again, I understand there is a light there. There's nothing under that table that creates light, and a second later, even with 2 lights on, that thing is gone. At the end of the day, it's up to you to decide, as you are the final judge for your own opinion.
The last 2 pictures that you saw, I just put in there for comparison. They were from our investigation, New Bedford's real factory of terror. That's why it says factory portal, now gone. But that portal, I understand it sounds crazy. Portals, I get it. People have been talking about them for millennia. A year ago, I thought it was crazy too. That was until I have 50 spirit voices telling me there's a portal here, there's a portal here, there's a portal here at like 11 different locations in the last year. It comes up repeatedly, and we keep catching the same picture. Now, I understand there's flashlights in the picture. I get it. However, in the other picture in the factory of terror, there's 2 flashlights turned on in the second picture, and there's no portal there. The portal is in no other pictures at Anawan Rock, and the flashlight is in 20 or 30 pictures. There's nothing to do with the flashlight. That's why there's a head next to it. That thing's either coming in or out of the portal. That's to take my word for it. Everybody on this show is encouraged to make up their own mind. Okay, like another YouTube show that we watch about hauntings. Okay, you decide. It's up to you to decide. It's not. You don't have to send us negative and nasty comments telling us we're crazy or anything like that. Listen, it's up to you to decide. That's the wonderful thing about this country. Is it's freedom of speech. You can decide what you want. We're just trying to present evidence of what we think is paranormal activity, analyze it, in the best educated way we can to help you understand what we're seeing. And then you can take all that together and make up your own mind. That's the beauty of this. We're not trying to ram any of this down anyone's throat. But to us, that's because we keep seeing it and what we've heard from the spirits, that's what we think that is. Now, the other thing that's undeniable is the repeated pictures at Anawan Rock. You saw me on video saying, take a picture with me. And it's like they took a picture in front of me. Mm-hmm. I am in none of those pictures except my shadow in the background or whatever that is. It is like I'm in a fog or a mist or some weird bubble, and the face over my face keeps changing. It's larger than my head at some points. It's taller than my head. You can see pieces of my head sticking out, my neck.
You can always see like Todd's face like behind it, but there's another face over it, another body really over Todd. That larger, more rounder face, but you still see some Todd's features, but every single photo was just different.
That photo where it looks like there's literally a Native American standing there wearing like the heavy, probably like winter furs that they would cut off the skins, and with the huge moccasins, and like you can see his long hair, and like it looks like somebody standing around me wearing like a weird outfit with huge feet and a huge head. That's not me. Yeah. And I certainly don't have a beak. Listen, I know I don't have the smallest nose in the world, but it isn't a beak. It isn't a beak. And the one part that got cut off was that weird red thing sticking out that I meant to say in the video got chopped off somehow, that it looks like Toucan Sam's beak glowing.
Yeah. Well, I still say
I don't know what the hell that is.
Caterpillar with like teeth. Like
I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. There's a huge red and orange thing there that is not me. That it just appears and it's gone. The next picture and it's gone. I have no idea. And I'll tell you what. There's a lot of even just this crazy videos that it's just not time to show and explain, and just really really weird stuff. The Native Americans certainly did not disappoint there. The manifestations were incredible. The mist, all that stuff was incredible. The fact that showing themselves as animals, that snake. That's why I showed the side by side, the thing ripping off. I'm just really, really incredible. And that the evidence just mounted up to the point there that ghosts are real, and they're real at that rock. And if you don't believe me, then go there at around 11 o'clock at night, like we did, by yourself or with somebody else, and just sit there and listen. And you'll hear people walking around that aren't there, and twigs snapping. And we will tell you this stuff. I will put this out there as plain as day. If you want to go paranormal investigating, if you want to ghost hunt, or if you just want to be a skeptic, whatever, again, you're entitled to do any of that. But if you go someplace and they know you do not believe, and you yell stuff like that out, one of two things is going to happen. You're either going to get attacked and they're going to throw you out, or they're just going to ignore you. Period. If they know you don't believe, there's another show that all they try to do, I don't think they're on the air anymore, but all they used to do is go to places and try to debunk the haunting and do it loud in the air so the spirits can hear them. And a spirit hears that on a daily basis when there's a noise. Oh, it's the cat. Oh, something must have just fallen. They get ignored on a daily basis when they're trying so hard, wasting every little crumb of energy they have to get someone's attention to communicate just to get help. And they get dismissed. And then these people come in, and right off the bat, they're trying to dismiss them further. What would you do if that was you? If you spent 50 years trying to get people's attention, had them dismiss you, and then this group of people that said, whatever their name was, and they said, oh, we're here to help, and blah, 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 and they spent the first hour trying to dismiss all the stuff that you had done to communicate. What would you do as a spirit if you had hardly any energy? Would you waste it trying to communicate with those people? Probably not. Probably not. Thank you so much, Wanda. We appreciate the positive input. We're going to let everybody go and enjoy their weekend now. Thank you so much for commenting and getting involved. We had a ton of fun. What is it?
I just mentioned the other show that we did real quick.
Oh, I just want to mention that. Julia, come on in here. Julia is going to jump in quick. This is our daughter, Julia. Julia is the future of Relatively Paranormal. She knows a ton about the paranormal, and we were just the feature of a short documentary called My Extraordinary Family. It aired on the Truly series, which I believe you can see on Facebook, but it's going to be put up on New Bedford Guide and Follow Reporter and everything this weekend. There'll be a link to go to YouTube, not YouTube. But so please, it's only like an 8-9 minute video. They did a really nice job with it. Julie does not come to nighttime investigations with us though. Obviously, it's TV. They wanted to make it seem more exciting. We did bring Julia to a known place where there's a family that haunts. In the video at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, it was still daylight out. There's a little girl ghost there. It's on record. The poor girl got scalded to death at 3 years old. And we brought Julia there to give her a gift and interact with her for a little bit. We've been there before. It's a safe place. The show kind of made it seem like we take her with us. Obviously, you didn't see her at Anawan Rock. If you're a fan of Relatively Paranormal or Weekly Haunted, you don't see Julia in hardly any of our videos. Much to her chagrin, because she would like to go everywhere, but some places just aren't safe, and we're good parents, and we don't take our daughter into graveyards at midnight or up on top of Anawan Rock, 50 feet in the air, 1 in the morning. The point is,
go to YouTube.
They did a good job, though. They really did.
Job. Yeah, if you go to YouTube and even just type in My Extraordinary Family ghost hunting, or
no, it was we let our 7-year-old communicate with it.
Yeah, great title. So anyhow, just type in YouTube.
But it will be on New Bedford Guide. It will be on Follow Report. It will be on whatever channel you're watching it. This show on. It will be on this weekend. There'll be a link there.
Yes.
I know it's probably going to tell you that you're leaving the site to go to another site because of the competition between the two. But
you'll also find it on.
It's worth.
Yeah, they'll probably be easier.
It's worth checking it out. It's on YouTube. We can only put a link on our own pages because of copyright things, but. You know what? They did a nice job. It's less than 10 minutes, like 8 minutes, but they really did. And, it supports our effort to grow and bring you better paranormal evidence in the future. So please, again, before we let you go, just a quick reminder, if you're experiencing something strange and you would like our help, you're not putting us out, honestly. We've lived through a couple hauntings. You heard us talk about the growl tonight. You've heard the growl. We live with this stuff on a daily basis. We have for a decade. You're not putting us out. We're happy to come help, honestly. So go to relativelyparanormal@gmail.com. Shoot us a line. Just give us a quick, brief description of what's going on, and we'll contact you and help out. Please stop. I'm going to come on anymore till the very, very end. Okay. Or go on our website, relativelyparanormal.com. And there's a booking form at the end that you can fill out there too. And it's got links to our YouTube channel, our Facebook page, and all that good stuff. And there's video players on our website too that have links to every Wickedly Haunted episode, every Relatively Paranormal. We also have a great video player playlist that Mike put up for us on New Bedford Guide. That was awesome. Every episode is on there too. So we will see you soon. And next time it's the Oliver House, also in the Bridgewater Triangle, also Wickedly Haunted. Another 1600s pre-Revolutionary War location, was out of control with activity. And wait till you see what we found there. Oh my God, it goes on. I love it. I love it. I love it. So from our family to yours, have a great weekend.
Bye.
Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for getting involved. And please share the video with your friends and family. Share it.